Hi, and welcome to Polly Puts the Colour On. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the most amazing Vinted find that I could possibly ever find. Like, don't think I can ever find anything on Vinted that's going to beat what I have to show you. So you may have seen my short where I kind of tease just the corner of it. And, you know, if you're familiar with colouring books, you've probably sussed out what it is that I've managed to find. And if you were thinking it was the Mouse Guard colouring book by David Peterson, then you would be absolutely right. And I just can't believe it. I really can't. I tend to check on Vinted every day, every couple of days, just search colouring books, scroll back through. You know, most of it is just, you know, lots of children's colouring books and, you know, things repeated and so on. I've got a couple of good things off Vinted though. Like I got my Fragile Worlds by Kobe Rosannes. That was a bargain off Vinted. I got a second-hand Maria Troll book. I think it was Flora. Like there's the tiniest little bit coloured in on one page, and got that for a really good price. So, you know, make a habit of checking more to see if I could find any books by, you know, those kinds of artists, you know, at bargain price that I don't already own. And then I just happened to go on. It was while we were away. And I only went on there to check because, you know, husband was like, oh, there's this Disney Spirit jersey that I'd seen that I wanted for the Hollywood Tower Hotel themed in, you know, Disney. Husband was like, it's a lot of money. Have a look on Vinted, see if anybody's selling it second hand. So we were sat down chilling in the AC, you know, having a cold drink, like at lunchtime. Just haven't, you know, went on Vinted, had a look. They hadn't got the Spirit jersey on there, so I did end up buying it, but obviously paying full price. And then while I was on there, I was like, I'll just have a quick little look. And I froze. And husband and daughter were like across the table from me, and they looked across and they were like, "Are you okay?" So then I'd quickly showed them, you know, on my phone. I was like, "Oh my god, somebody's put my Guard on for like £10, literally £10 plus like the buyer protection fee and obviously postage." I was like, oh, what do we do? What do we do? We're away. I can't, you know, I can't get it. Husband's like, well, calm down for starters. Double check, look at the images, read the description properly, just to make sure, because like, he'd literally been listed like 3 minutes. Like that's as long as it had been on there, and I knew it wouldn't stay on there for very long as soon as somebody else saw it and realised what it was that had been listed, that, you know, that they'd be snapping it straight up. So I had a lot, yeah, it looks legit. They'd got good reviews and everything. I was like, but what do I do? I don't want to have it delivered to home, because if if it happens to get left outside, it's going to get ruined and it's not like I can get another one. So husband's like, right, we'll have it delivered to his mum's house, because, you know, she lives quite close. She was already looking after the fish. It's like, she won't mind. It's, you know, it's one little book. She won't mind. So anyway, bought it, you know, had to wait a few days. And then for the day, you know, I had an email off Royal Mail, you know, the postal service company in the UK, saying, oh, it's due to be delivered today. So obviously, but, you know, let husband's mum know, like, should be coming today. And then we had a message off her saying, what on earth has Polly bought? We've ended up opening the packet because, you know, you said it was a book and it didn't feel right. So they'd opened it. It had a random person's name on, but her address. And it was some toe rings. So at this point, of course, I'm on holiday, you know, off in Florida, thinking, oh no, have I been scammed or something? Like, what on earth has gone on here? Double check the Royal Mail tracking, wasn't saying it had been delivered. I was like, oh, okay, well, we'll wait a bit, we'll see what happens. Thankfully, a few hours later, I had, you know, the message through from Royal Mail saying, yeah, it's been delivered, photo of delivery, and, you know, you could see like a book-shaped parcel, definitely got my name on. You know, look the right kind of size and shape and everything. And mother-in-law confirmed, yeah, it's been delivered, it's all fine. So then we're thinking, right, well, that's really weird then, that this random parcel on the same day with, of all things, toe rings in. So I was still a little bit worried till I actually got back off holiday and actually could open it myself and have a look at it. And it just turned out it was a very weird coincidence that obviously somebody had just put the wrong house number in. Their parcel had been delivered to my poor mother-in-law's from Amazon. And it was just a weird coincidence that it happened the first day. So there's me panicking over, what turned out to be nothing. But understandably, given that I thought I'd got my hand on this book for just £10 plus postage, like you can see why I started panicking. But thankfully, it is the real thing. And I've not wiped the cover down or anything yet. I'm going to get a baby wipe and very carefully clean it up. But I thought I've left it exactly as it was as I got it out of the packet. It had been packed really, really nicely by the person I bought from off Vinted. I've left them a glowing review. I'm guessing they didn't quite realise what they'd got their hands on. I mean, I'm really glad that they're not trying to sell it for as much as, people are trying to sell it for on, eBay. There's people got it on there for a ridiculous, like hundreds and hundreds of pounds, and I was never going to pay that much. But of course, I'd not seen this book when it originally came out in, I think it's got the year here somewhere, hasn't it? 2016. So I'd not seen it. It's only been in the last couple of years that I've seen this book kind of on other people's channels. I think it was J.R. Clarisse that I saw it on first. I thought, wow, that looks really cool. So I've been keeping my eye out for it for like the last 2 years, but haven't seen it for, anything less than like £100, and I'm not going to pay that much for it. So yeah, keep checking on Vinted because you never know. So I thought I'll share with you my first proper flip through, because I just had a very quick look through it at my mother-in-law's when I opened it, just to have a quick look. It didn't look as if anything had been coloured in, like it's completely uncoloured. So I thought I'll share it with you, kind of my first proper impressions. I know I've seen this page coloured quite a few times, so I'm looking forward to getting into this. But as my daughter pointed out, she was like, oh mummy, aren't you going to be a bit worried about colouring in it, because you've wanted this book for so long, and what happens if you go wrong? I was like, oh, thanks for that pressure. But yes, she has got a point. I'm probably not going to rush into colouring. Like, I obviously am going to colour in it, but I'm just so thrilled to just have it that I can see me waiting a couple of months before I feel brave enough to actually start colouring it. Like, there's some, look at this, my goodness, this double page spread, like that looks very daunting. But I guess it's a little bit along the same lines as like the Kirby Roseanne's books, where once you start chipping away at bits, it's not going to be quite so daunting. Like, it looks like there's a lot of bones and skeletons here, but then you notice, like, obviously there is a shield, and there is obviously other little bits and pieces going on, like obviously the brave mouse over there. Like, that's really cool, isn't it? Like, very dark, some of the pages I can see. Like, you're not going to need to do a lot. Like, I could just perhaps do Inktense and not have to do any shading, because there's already a lot of shadowing on a lot of the images, isn't there? Like, this is really cool. If there's any characters on that page though, so that might be a good one to start with if I'm not feeling brave enough to start on any of the actual mice. That's really pretty as well. So you see there, there's a lot of the dark parts already on there, or the shading. You can always try a bit of watercolour or something. Oh, that looks funny, doesn't it? Like, there's all the houses, but then you've got a duck, and the duck's like as big as the buildings and the boats. Which I guess if the boats and the buildings are for the mice, then that makes sense, doesn't it? With having the duck that size. And then we've started to get some of the characters in now. I'll maybe try and have a look online at some point at his artworks. I think he does graphic novels, doesn't he? To get an idea maybe on what colours might look nice for some of these characters. This is cool though. See there, him, doing, I'm sure he does graphic novels originally with these characters in. And you can see, can't you, with the little bits going on. That's really cool. This, I know I've definitely seen coloured. I won't say this was J.R. Colorist that I've seen colour this a little while ago. A bit weird, isn't it? With like the Stoat Weasel, but with the crown on. Like, really cool. And then this is another one where it's got a lot going on, hasn't it? I don't want to crack the spine too much. I guess when I get to colouring some of these pages, I'm going to have to, but I don't want to force it too much yet. You can see there's obviously the foxes, but then there's like the vines, the roots going on. So it might be hard to pick out what's what. So again, this might be a good one to look up online see how other people have coloured it, which bits they decided were what. See the little mouse there? That's cool. And then another big double page one there. Again, another one where I guess it wouldn't really need to do a lot of shading. Maybe even like Graffy Tint pencils might work well for this, and maybe just a bit of pop of colour. I don't know, maybe on the flags and the tiles, else it might just look a bit, don't want it looking too dark, I want it being a bit colourful. And we've obviously got there, I like the stained glass of all the different characters. That looks really pretty. That might be nice to do is kind of a bit like a small victories kind of page. I could just chip away at that at some point. Oh, that's pretty. Like that again, you could have that really nice and colourful there, couldn't you, with the stained glass. Oh gosh, I just can't believe that I own this book. I like really, really can't. I said just off Vinted, just happened to be there, right place, right time. If I'd have gone on, you know, even half an hour later, I bet I never would have even seen it. I bet somebody else would have already snapped it up, but it'd literally gone on just a few minutes before. This looks cool. I could do like a little glow effect there. Oh, this is different. I don't think there's any characters on this page, is there? No, not a quick glance. It doesn't look like there is, so that's really cool. Nice that there is pages with the characters, but then also others. So there's a real mixture in this book. I like how it's gone out past the kind of the box that's framing the rest of it, how parts are going out. That's cool. There's some birds as well on that page. It's cool. This is just in the paper. It's amazing. It's a shame that they're not doing a reprint of this book, but I guess it's as much as quite a few people want it, I guess it's a bit too niche to, you know, for it to be republished, you know, like Emily Hall Oberg's book. But yeah, keep your eye out. I know Happy Catastrophe says that, you know, keep your eye out, because you never know, people might be selling it on eBay or, you know, Vinted or the second-hand kind of places, and maybe aren't charging through the roof for it. That's really pretty how it's got a flower, hasn't it, there with all the different parts, and then the butterflies as well as the mice. That's really pretty. Such a big book, it's really hard to get it all in frame. So yeah, I kind of opened it, and I've put it away like really, really carefully on my shelf, because I'm just really, I don't want, like, my cats are pretty good, but I can guarantee if one of them's going to wander in here and get up to mischief, you know, in my office, don't want them getting hold of this book, so I'm being very careful where I leave it. And this is cool. There's obviously like lots of, I'm guessing, like gold coins, so this could, although it looks really dark, actually you could probably colour this like quite bright with doing the you know, if you do those shiny gold coins. Oh, that's sweet. All the little dandelions blowing away. Is that like looks like a snake ribbon? It's cool having the fox in again though, so I could maybe make a note of the colours I use for some of the characters in case they crop up again on some of the pages. Oh, another one where it's got like little scenes. That's sweet. Probably would just colour them just as they are and maybe not do a background, I think, on that. So I think if I did a background, I think it might take away from the little images. Sweet, that looks a lot like the character that was in earlier, doesn't it? That weasel stoat, whatever kind of creature it is. There's some more of them there. Really cool. So, oh, that's a sweet one. The little baby mouse. Little baby Rex, I guess. That's sweet. I think I've seen this one coloured as well. I can't remember who. I'm sure I've seen this one shared a few times. and that looked really cool. And how I can't think who it was, but how they'd coloured it actually, although it looks really dark, it turned out really, really bright. So they did like nice bright kind of light green leaves, and I can't remember the blue flowers. I don't think it was. Either way, it looked really, really nice when it was finished. Like it just looked like they would be dark pages, but I suppose it just depends what you put on it, on how dark they turn out. This is cool. They're carrying like the houses on their backs, aren't they? That's different. And another double page there. Oh, and another double page here. Oh dear. A very angry looking squirrel there, haven't we? Goodness me. Very fierce. There's a lot going on that page, that double page spread, isn't there? Oh, and another double page. I think I'd recently seen Happy Catastrophe do this one in the last kind of couple of months. And it looked really cool. I know she painstakingly, I think she did the sea, and then she outlined every single bubble with white, I believe. I can see why it took her so long, because yep, there's a lot there. That's a cool one there, that it's underwater as well, not just on land. And another double page. I'm definitely not going to be starting with the double page, I don't think. When I do get to colouring in it, once I feel brave enough. Oh, caterpillar there. He looks a bit creepy, doesn't he, almost? I think once I do feel brave enough to actually add some colour to it, it won't be one of these gorgeous double pages, I don't think. I think it'll be one of the simpler ones. That's neat with the snake in. And lots of flowers, so that could be nice and colourful. That's just what I'm going to call as well, snake again. So if you're not much for snakes, this probably isn't the book for you. Oh, this is cool. How it's got the almost like small victories, but with weapons. I mean, this could be good. I've never really bothered trying to practice how to kind of colour metal with pencil. I normally just cheat and use watercolour or gel pens, to be honest. So this might be somewhere where maybe I'll practice that maybe one day. There they are. That looks very cool. It's like rays of the sun or something behind, isn't there? Oh, that's cool. That's a sweet one as well. Oh, that's a very different style to all the other pages, isn't it? They've got a bow and arrow there, hammer, a ladle, and a sword behind. There's lots of details on that one. Oh, we've got some more characters here. That's cool. I just feel like I just keep saying this. It's like, that's cool. That's really nice. That's different. But it is. This is just such a different book to any others that I own. It's just amazing. Again, we're back to like the graphic novel kind of little scenes. I like the perspective as well. Like, obviously, that's a flower, and that looks like a really big building, but then with how big the flowers are, like, that's obviously a very small building, for obviously, I guess, the mice to live in. It's really clever, because without those flowers, you just think that was a really big building, but from a bit further away. But with those flowers there, it really changes the perspective, doesn't it? We've got some more characters there with their names. Well, that's a very dark looking one. But again, I suppose if I did really bright leaves, you can make it look as if, I don't know, the sun was shining down here, maybe. I'm saying that like I know how to do that. I'd need to have a practice, I think, before I did that, because that's not anything I've really tried to do before. Oh, these are very different. This is cool. So I don't think the first picture I'll do will be like my favourite picture. I think it could well be, I don't know, something like one of these out of the back, maybe. I don't know. That's neat. That's cool. because I wouldn't want to do like my fate. Not that I know which my favourite picture is, but I wouldn't want to do like one of my favourites and not know how to work on this paper and what works nicely for me. I probably would experiment somewhere, try and have a little play and see what I like on this paper, and how to colour the different mice. That's pretty. It looks like peacock feathers, doesn't it, behind? So that could be a really colourful page. It's interesting. So some of the pages have like loads of shading on already. And then you've got pages like this, which is not a tiny bit, but there's not really much on that page, is there, in terms of like shading already on. So that's a bit different. It's hard to tell what's going on. It looks like there's a mouse and they're sat in a big flower. It looks like flowers dripping down, but I don't know what's in the background. Is that meant to be like the sun? I don't know. I suppose you can make it into whatever you think it is, can't you? With the owl, the mouse, the hands look a bit weird, don't they? But then again, I've never really looked very closely at mouse hands, mouse paws, I guess. This is different, having like the perspective from the top, and I like how it's got paintings in some of the rooms, like the pictures on the wall. That's neat. It looks like they've got back from their quest, I'm guessing there. A lot of details on here, isn't there, with little bits on the shelves and everything. And there you can just imagine what music they're playing. And then what have we got here? Pattern. And about the author. So yeah, I think possibly when I do get around to feeling brave enough to work in this book, maybe that actually might be a good one to start with, because if it bleeds through on that writing, like, I'm not going to mind. Or there was a couple in the front, wasn't there? Like, there's that little motif, although that would come through onto the very first page. And then there is that little motif, which again comes through to that. So I can see possibly, I might just, when I do get to colouring in it, I might just dive in and do, one of the other pages. But I can see possibly I might just have a bit of a play on that. Maybe I could use watercolours on part of it, Inktense on another, try out a few of my different pencil sets to see what pencils work best on this paper, so that then when I do want to colour one of the other pages, I know what works well for me. I know from watching other people's channels, I think a lot of people have used quite a lot of different things on it. Like, they say that the paper is quite good. So yeah, bit of research, bit of practicing maybe on that back page. Like, that looks really cool. I think Happy Catastrophe, I think Candice did. It's like a yellowy, greeny kind of eel. Is an eel, isn't it? That looked really cool. You see his body's going back there, isn't it? So yeah, I just honestly cannot believe that I have this book in my collection. I'm like absolutely thrilled to pieces. So yeah, keep checking, keep looking on eBay, Vintage, whatever secondhand, places you've got, available in your country, because it could be that somebody is having a clear out and, they don't really know what they've got. Like, I'm guessing whoever I bought it from kind of figured, from the age of it, and that it's an old colouring book that's not been coloured in. That's why they put it on. It's £10 rather than like £1 or £2. But I think if they'd have known, just how rare it is, I think they maybe might have put it on for, I don't know, definitely more than that. Maybe not an extortionate amount, because, people aren't going to buy it. But yeah, honestly, can't believe it. Less than £15. And there's like tiny little marks there on the cover. Very tiny little bit on the corners, but the actual pages, not coloured, the actual pages are spotless, doesn't even smell funny. Like when I opened it up out of the packet, because I thought, where on earth has this been? Because obviously it's, I'm in the UK, and that is not how we spell colouring in the UK. So obviously it's got here from another country, probably America. And, where has it been all of these years? So I must admit, I did sniff it when it came out of the packet. My husband just kind of raised his eyes at me. I was like, I'm just checking it doesn't smell funny. I was like, if it does, I'll just have to make sure, like, I air it out or something, because, I'm still keeping it. But here, my husband and daughter were absolutely creasing themselves. And I sat there, opened it, realised, I'd not been scammed. It wasn't legit. It was the proper thing. Husband's there going like, you're like a little kid on Christmas morning, because I just was grinning from ear to ear. Because I've been after this for quite a while. Just kind of figured, I'm never going to have this book in my collection, and that's fine. I'll keep looking, because you never know. But yeah, you do never know. Have it. So don't give up hope if you're also after a copy like I was, because your copy could be out there, and it just needs to be like right place, right time. So thank you for joining me today while I waffle on about the amazing find that I got, and kind of all the backstory behind it. Hopefully I didn't bore you. Obviously, please like and subscribe if you've been watching my videos, because it does make a huge difference to my channel. Obviously, drop a comment down below. What do you think of the Mascard book? Have you got it? Have you been after it? Is it maybe not your cup of tea? I'd love to know your thoughts. And I do also have memberships on the channel now. So if you're interested, if you have a look at my channel, click on the join button. It doesn't mean that you're joining and that you're having to pay anything. It just brings up the list of the different tiers and the different things that are available to you. The lowest tier starts at 99p. Going up to $3.99. The names of the different tiers are my cats. So we've got Figaro, Monty, Luna, and then the top tier is Amiga, which is our cat, who sadly isn't with us anymore. But when I was like, could do we have another tier? And my daughter was like, well, what about Amiga? Like, we can't forget about him. He's still part of the family. So that's kind of where the names of the different tiers have come from. They're our cats, past and present. So take care, everyone, and I'll catch you in the next one.